Hello everyone, this is Adam with Worship Extreme. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do a quick demo on how to broadcast your Worship Extreme presentations using OBS, which is an open broadcast software. That's a free download that you can use to stream your services to YouTube, Facebook, and other applications or other platforms. And you can also do recordings as many different formats and then later post that video on your website or share it on YouTube or wherever you're looking to share it. Okay, so let's dive right in. This is a demo that allows you to use OBS to stream to different platforms, and it allows you to do it all on one computer. So you're going to use the same computer for Worship Extreme and for creating the actual stream. Okay, so let's get started with the Worship Extreme part. So I have my Worship Extreme queue list open, and I just added a few items to the queue list for this service. And so I have two slides that I pulled from the Worship Extreme slide template library. I didn't even have to create these. And then I have two songs and a scripture reference. And if I pull up the song, you'll see it looks great, just text over a black background. So perfect. So this is just a very basic presentation, so I'm good to go. So let's pull up OBS, which is a free download. You can get it from their website at obsproject.com, and they have a Windows, Mac, and Linux version of the application. Okay, let's pull it up here. So when you first pull it up, you'll have your scenes listed in the scenes box, and then each scene will have a source. So a scene is almost like inputs that you're going to switch between during the live stream. So we have to set these up. Okay, so let's, so there already is a scene here. I'm going to make a new scene, and I'm going to call this scene Worship Extreme. If I can spell it right. There we go. And so for this scene, we need to add a source. So I already have Worship Extreme open and running, and I have my second display connected where I'm outputting my slides to, which I showed you over here. So let's add that display as a source. So I'm going to choose add a source, and for the source I'm going to choose a display capture right there. So select that option. You can give it a new name, but I'm just going to leave it as display capture. And for the display, I'm going to choose my second display, which has my Worship Extreme output on it. And that's it. And so press OK. And that display will be added to the Worship Extreme scene. So now if I click scene, it'll be a black screen. And if I click Worship Extreme for the second scene, you'll see I see Worship Extreme. So that's really all you have to do to stream Worship Extreme through Facebook. And so now, or for YouTube or for whatever platform you're streaming to. And so now if I go back to Worship Extreme, I'll actually make this window a little thinner so you can see it. So you can see both of these. And so as I change, put up a new slide, you'll see it actually comes over here and renders in the stream. Okay, so that's about where you could end the tutorial if you're only looking to stream Worship Extreme. But if you're actually looking to stream a live video camera and then also add Worship Extreme on top, meaning overlaying lyrics or scripture on top of that, I'll demo that right now. Okay, so let's go back to OBS and let's add a new scene. And let's call this one our video camera. Okay. And there's no sources in this new scene, so now we're going to add a new source. So here's where you would add your video capture device. And this would be the device you're using to capture the video feed from the actual video camera. I'm just at home right now and I don't have a video camera set up on this computer, so I'm just going to put a still image as this video camera feed to kind of replicate what a video camera would look like. So I'm just going to pick a still image that I had on my computer here. Let's see, this guy playing the piano. Okay, so this is going to be my video camera feed, we'll call that. So now I have three different scenes. I have the empty scene, I have the Worship Extreme scene, and then I also have my video camera feed scene. Okay, so now what if we want to overlay lyrics on top of the video camera scene? So let's make a new scene. And let's call this We Over Video Camera. We're going to add our video capture device as the background, but I'm going to use image here just for this demo. I'm going to pick that same picture. And then we're going to add a second source for this scene. So notice I'm still on the Wii over video camera scene. And I'm going to add a second source. And I'm going to call that source, or I'm going to pick for the source the display capture. I'm going to pick display 2 again because that's the capture, or that's the display that I'm outputting Worship Extreme to. Great, so now I have the display as the top source and my image, or this would be your video camera, as the second source. Notice you can't really see that image because Worship Extreme is filling the full screen. So let's go back to Worship Extreme and let's put up one of these slides here. Okay. Great, so now I go back to OBS and I can see that that has updated here, but now I want to make that black background in Worship Extreme transparent so you can see the video feed that's behind it. So to do that, I'm going to right click on the display capture and I'm going to choose filters. This will bring up the filter box and I'm going to add a new filter, which I can do in the bottom left here by clicking the plus and choose color key. Then the color key settings will come up and I'm going to drag this similarity slider all the way to the right, which is 1000 for the value. And you'll notice it keyed out the black background that was in Worship Extreme. And so now I can press close to that and you'll see back in my OBS feed, look at that. I have the song lyrics over my video feed. And now I go back to Worship Extreme and as I click through these slides, notice they're changing over there. Great, okay, so now I have my 3 scenes that I set up in OBS, but now I'm going to, let's say I want to do a lower third type look for my songs, because if I go through these, and even if I pull up the scripture verse here, you know, it's covering the full screen. I want to do kind of a lower third look. So to do that, I'm going to go to Songs at the top of Worship Extreme, and then choose Templates, because I'm going to create a lower third template. And templates is right here in the top right of the songs drop down. So I'm going to select that. Here's all the templates that I have in my account. Notice I do have a lower third one that I created earlier, but let's make a new one. And I'm going to name this template lower third number 2. And this is going to be a kind of preview of what my slides will look like. Okay, so let's pretend, okay, this is a great font, great color, great size. So let's go to the vertical alignment and let's bring that all the way to the bottom. And so now I have all my slides will be vertically aligned at the bottom. And then I can also go under margins and I can bump up the bottom margin if I want it to be a little bit higher and not all the way as far down as it was. Okay, great. So that's my lower third template, and I can go in here and add other, you know, if I want to change the color or add some type of shadow or outline. There's already one defaultly on here, but I could mess with that or enhance it or make it not as noticeable. Okay, so it's in the top right here. I'm going to choose Save. Great, so now my template has been saved. So I'm going to pull up that second song I had, I Surrender All. I'm going to edit it. So let's right click on the cue, go to Edit, and then pull up Edit I Surrender All, which we can do under the foreground settings. And for template, I'm going to choose that one I just created, lower third number 2. And notice that all my slides now are formatted to have that same look. So I'm going to save this song, going to go to my next song, do the same thing. Edit that song, and give it the same, my lower third number 2 template. And then I'm going to go to my scripture cue, edit that cue as well. Here's the reference, and I'm going to give it lower third number 2. Great, so now all my cues here, I have the same look and feel, and so if I pull up a song and I bring up a slide, notice if I go back to my OBS stream, you'll see that the lyrics are now overlaid, or sorry, they're overlaid, but they're on the lower third. And I can do the same thing with my scripture passage as well as I put it up. Notice it's on the lower third, matching that same look and feel. But then when I want to go back to showing my slides that I created full screen, in OBS I'll bring up the full Worship Extreme scene, and then I can fire the top cue, and then bring up those slides again. So just to review, I got my 3 scenes here, the Worship Extreme, my video camera, and then the Worship Extreme over the video camera, which will be used for lower thirds or any type of any type of thing, any type of output from Worship Extreme that I would want to overlay on top of my video. And so now we're good to go. We're ready to start our stream. You can also add an audio feed here. If you didn't want to take the audio feed from the camera, you could have a secondary audio feed. And then you'll have two options here. You can start streaming and start recording. And you'll set up the stream under settings in OBS, and you'll get the settings to use from whatever streaming provider you're using. Whether that's Facebook Live, they give you the actual key that you copy and then you paste it into the studio here. And that's pretty much it. And then you can start and stop your stream here, or if you're going to do a live recording, you can start and stop your recording here.